Right then.
So recently, the Destroy All Humans remake released globally. I say globally because it was apparently meant to come out earlier on certain consoles, and it released a day earlier in my country because time zones are weird and I'm from the future! But I played this at its global release. I streamed myself going through the whole campaign, along with the original Destroy All Humans and its sequel, Destroy All Humans 2. I wanted to get a better, fresher understanding of some of the past games, so then when I jumped into the remake, I could have a better understanding of what could be improved, despite me enjoying the past titles for many hours when they originally released. Now, this is first and foremost a review with no sponsorship, but it's also going to be a bit of a comparison video. A remake's job, after all, is to create a nice, updated gaming experience for a new generation to enjoy, but one that doesn't stray too far from the original source material. I know what you're here for, though. You just want to know if it's any good, right? Or maybe you're wondering if an old fan like me who owns and played all the original games thought it was worth a damn. Except for Big Willy Unleashed. We don't talk about Big Willy Unleashed. Well, to save you some time, yeah, it is a good remake. It hits all the marks it needed to and then some to become quite a satisfactory remake of the original. One I'd personally recommend over the original if you wanted to simply dip your toe into the series. I don't have any huge complaints about this game, however, as an old fan, I'm going to try and pick out some of the things that I thought were a bit and things I also thought were a bit
Please, no! Oh, it tickles!
It's probing time.
Hopefully this helps determine in more detail whether or not newcomers and old fans of the original would want to pick it up, or perhaps wait for it to drop in price. Like the big Crypto 137 edition that costs $600. By the way, if anyone wants to donate that statue to me, that'd be great. So to make it quick for those new to Destroy All Humans, or DAH for short, it's about an alien race, the Furons, who have survived by cloning themselves. However, the process has caused their species' DNA to degrade gradually after every new clone. In an attempt to stop the inevitable collapse of their civilization, Crypto 136 is sent to explore the planet Earth, the one place where pure Furon DNA still exists, in human brains. Contact is quickly lost though, and so you, Crypto 137, are now being sent in to find him and help save the Furons from extinction. Come to think of it, the game never really was about destroying all humans, was it? It was more like Human Farm Simulator, but that doesn't quite roll off the tongue now, does it? So one of the obvious pros is that this game looks way better than the original, especially the aliens and anything to do with them. The guns look good, the UFO looks good, Crypto's shit-eating grin looks like the bee's knees, you get the picture. They were also kind enough to add a bunch of new unlockable skins to the game, so there's a bit of customization and something to work towards. One of my favorites was one of the skins I got when purchasing the game. It reminds me of the When Mars Attacks aliens a bit. Plus, it creates lovely contradicting scenes like this.
I am not green.
Little green men!
Not again, colorblind morons. You don't look like a general.
You don't look like a little green man.
Thank you.
Speaking of customization, there's a shit ton of upgrades available compared to the original. Most of the weapons and equipment have been tweaked for the better. Even the little things like the Zap-O-Matic connecting with opponents more fluently. Now, stuff like the anal probe requires more precision, but if you can get used to it, my god, you could go to town on people. I found myself using that a lot because you still get DNA from it, and when fully upgraded, it could do some decent damage, even to the final boss. Somehow you can probe robots and tanks too, but you don't get DNA from it. Not sure how that works. I felt like at the beginning of the game I was weaker, and the humans were stronger, not to mention smarter compared to the original game. However, I reckon this was intentional to add some more challenge, because when you start sinking in a few hours, you'll soon realize the limit of how strong you can become is far greater thanks to all the upgrades and abilities. One new thing I absolutely loved was the dashing ability. At first, it's just a simple dash, but when fully upgraded, it makes traversing the world on foot so much easier and kind of fun. I almost feel like I'm playing a Spider-Man game due to how fluent the system is. Not to mention you can still kill people like this. It adds a whole new sort of hit-and-run mechanic. My favorite thing to do was using the psychokinesis, which was the ability to toss almost anything around when fully upgraded. which I would strongly recommend doing in the remake and the original, not only because it's effective, it's just really satisfying. This, by the way, was made a lot more fluent on the remake with the keyboard and mouse. Yes, I'm playing this on my PC with a keyboard and mouse, and it all seemed to transfer well to the big boy console. Personally, I would recommend using a keyboard and mouse because I feel like I can not only get more precise shots in, but I can huck people more quickly and even further distances without even trying.
You could do the irresponsible parent. Whee! Hey, you guys want to go out for lunch or something? Oh, sorry, Billy. Or you could do the classic catapult. Yay! So look.
Nobody tosses a cop.
One of the other things I love doing. See if I can do that. Whee! Oh shit! All right.
Get in your flying saucer and annihilate everything in your path.
Normally, if you just let go like that, they just kind of go a little bit in the air, a couple feet into the air. It was like, yay!
In regards to the missions, it was clear they tried to make a good chunk of them accomplishable in more ways than one. For example, in one area you have to eliminate these big Tesla coils in a heavily fortified enemy base. In the original, you would just have to shoot it down. Sure, you could try destroying it as a human, but using your powers in front of people would likely get you shot regardless. In the remake though, they allowed you to interact with the environment a bit more when disguised. This meant I was able to walk right up to it, manually break it, and piss off with the army none the wiser. It started to feel a bit like a Hitman game almost, considering how you could assassinate people in certain missions. I like to call these happy accidents.
Drop a crate onto a side. Oh, fuck! This is turning into Hitman all of a sudden. This is a great level. This is definitely a new level. All right. Right now.
Stop! You're going down!
What?
It's killer time!
Nope. That's kind of smart as well. Even though I didn't necessarily do anything alien-y, because normally if I interact like that, they don't suspect an alien. But he saw me kill someone, regardless. So that's actually, again, that's kind of smart. I gotta fucking give credit where credit is due. I mean, he's immediately forgotten about me, but, you know, aside from that...
I liked the implementation of side missions as it added a bit more replayability, encouraged you to try new things, and rewards you with delicious DNA to avoid any unnecessary grinding. I never found myself needing to do so, and I even beat the game with most of my gear not maxed out. But it is a more streamlined option with the probe gun, manually extracting brains with your mind, completing story missions, or even using the saucer to extract them off dead bodies. There are minigames this time around which are also a nice touch, but you will likely blaze through them, especially if you max out your gear.
Let me go! It's the rapture!
They did tons of quality of life changes, such as making it faster to get in and out of the saucer, quicker loading times, far less glitching. The humans can actually jump this time around, and it sounded like they tried to sprinkle in some more voice work throughout the game. There were some nice extra cutscenes too throughout the game, which was kind of them to try and change it up a little to give old fans something a little fresher to see. I noticed they also tried to fix or improve certain scenes in the past game, such as Crypto at the movie theater pulling a device out his ass, the threat he makes to someone about them screwing up his gun, and the old lady at the beginning who first spots you. They also added some extra voice clips to characters here and there, or replacing some that just didn't feel quite right, especially in some of the final bosses. They even managed to salvage some old data and create a whole new mission, which shows you how the flight demonstration in the original game was sabotaged. Okay, enough kissing Crypto's ass. You know at this point it's a good game. With that in mind, I'm going to try and pick out some things I personally didn't like. This was a little difficult considering the game is pretty solid for what it is. Some of the scenes that they tried to fix or improve just didn't look as good to me. Crypto's confrontation with Orthopox, for example, his superior, didn't feel as effective. In fact, it felt more like a monologue to me.
But there's a time for thought, and there's a time for action, and this is one of those times.
Which?
The second one.
In some areas, though, they tried to slip in more audio or voice work to improve some cutscenes. Something like this, however, is not acceptable. You can't get away with using such cartoony stock sounds this bare-faced.
Quickly, Crypto! You've got to bend the antennae before they... Ooh, that has to hurt. Ew. Disgusting.
Speaking of trivial shit that doesn't matter, the original menu is gone! You're not gonna know what I mean unless you've played the original, but when you were on the mothership, if you didn't do anything for long enough, Orthopox would berate you. And it would go on for a fairly long time.
I'm only a fictional character in a simulated universe after all. I haven't anything better to do, really. I'm just a bunch of electrons fluttering about inside your console and a few hundred kilobytes of data stored on your DAH disk. Don't pay any attention to me!
Of course, never pay attention to you. Never!
It reminded me of those interactive DVD menus of a time long past.
So where y'all from?
I know it's nothing important, but that's half the charm, I think, with this game. It's the voice acting and all the little things that make it feel more alive and vibrant. The game itself, for the record, is still not that long. They added some more replayability to it and some more goodies to get by, but I completed the game and most of the side stuff on my Twitch streams, which lasted about 10 hours in total. Shit, I did another Twitch stream and we did the rest of it in about another 3 hours. Considering this is a remake of an already short PS2 game, for what you get, I'd still say it's worth it. You have quality over quantity going on here. I don't recall there being any difficulty settings, but the game itself had an alright challenge. I only ever died on the last mission though, which some people may claim is a bad thing due to the difficulty spike. However, I wasn't even fully upgraded and managed to win after a couple tries. Not to mention the copious amount of checkpoints, so even if you fail a mission in this game, you likely won't have to restart the whole thing, which I appreciate as being a coddled gamer in the year 2020. But it did add to how easy it felt sometimes. The one thing though that just didn't sit right with me throughout the entire game was the humans. The humans look stupid. No, not this kind of stupid. I just mean, they don't look right. It doesn't sit well with me. They look like something out of a Pixar film, not the good kind. I feel like if I tried to give Miss Rockwell the old anal probe, she'd crack like an egg. I heard one YouTuber I enjoy watching called Worthaby refer to them as porcelain dolls. Can't say I disagree with him. Let me give you an example. I'm going to show you some footage of the final boss near the end of the game. I'm doing this because they are more detailed than most other humans in the game, and we also get lots of close-up shots, so we can do a good comparison of the remake and the original. Yes, this is a spoiler, so spoiler alert, if you don't know the story by now, cut to this time in the video on screen if you want to avoid it. We good? Okay, we good.
You're a chick?
I'm a patriot. If you had to put up with politicians playing grab-ass all day long, you'd wear a mask too.
Me, I get my kicks the old-fashioned way, beating up bad monkeys.
Funny, that's just what Crypto136 said. Of course, he was a real cut-up too. Well, so much for Plan A.
To me, it felt like at the time the humans looked about as realistic as they could get. They kinda looked like Grand Theft Auto NPCs. So when I thought about how they'd look in the remake, I had a more realistic image in my head, which would be appropriate for our time, such as Grand Theft Auto 5. That's a fairly old game, but still has humans that look reasonably realistic for the time it released. This though... Look, I know it's not that important. This is coming from someone who doesn't even care about graphics in his games, but I just think they look weird. It doesn't break it, and it didn't ruin my enjoyment. It just kind of cemented this idea in my head that they were going for a more cartoony approach, and I liked the more contemporary side of past games. How they would get a bit real with you sometimes, but then pull back and have some good old human probing to make you feel better.
Son of a...
Don't get mad, get sadistic.
I think this calls for the jumbo probe. Hurts, don't it, monkey boy? You want it to stop, don't you? Then give Daddy what he needs.
Overall, this game is like South Park and Grand Theft Auto having some sort of short psychopathic love child. It's got a strange way of showing you love and what it's good at, but if you're into edgy humor, having an arsenal of weapons and abilities, coupled with being able to let loose and kill a crap ton of humans in style, this is the game for you. I'm giving it my totally trivial Dabby 911 seal of approval as one kick-ass game and a remake that has raised the bar for future ones to come. So THQ, how about remaking the rest of the series? Also, if you could actually put in the real voice actors for Big Willy Unleashed, that'd be great.
Prepare to be destroyed! Hey, they stole my move.
More educational programming, Crypto.
Kill me now.
G'day there. Thanks for watching. Thank you as well to my beautiful Patreons. If you want to join them, links in the description.
You can also support me by purchasing your games with my Green Man Gaming affiliate link. There's no extra charge to you, and you can still find some good deals. It just gives me a little kickback. I have my Twitch streams now at 10 AM and 10 PM every Friday, Sydney, Australian time. And our Discord gaming sessions are 10 AM every Saturday and Sunday, Sydney, Australian time. I tend to use my Twitter and Discord whenever I'm putting out a new video, announcements for anything, and all that jazz, so be sure to follow me on both to stay up to date.
There's also that watch thing, you know, that I always put at the end of every video that I'm pretty sure nobody cares about because nobody uses watches. And, you know, come to think of it, I haven't really worn my watch in a while, but, you know, watches are still cool, you know.
I prefer grandfather clocks, really. Grandfather clocks are nice. They look pretty and they look cute, big, and they go goo, 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 goo.